Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we are going to have ourselves a 2v2. That's right, it's a 2v2 this time around, and it is going to be on Rzhev, the summer edition. Our heroes today, let's go ahead and open up the bars just to introduce them, are going to be Binary Helix, playing for the Soviets in the blue trunks. His ally is going to be Genocidal Canadian. Okay. Genocidal Canadian playing, again, for the Soviets in the yellow. Their opponents today are going to be Ehrenfeld. Ehrenfeld. Yeah, Ehrenfeld. Playing for the Germans in the red. And his ally in the purple or pink trunks, depending on your preference, is going to be Frank Black. Frank Black. So there you go. So yeah, it's another 2v2. I think I messed up something. Hold on, I can fix it on the fly, so do not worry. Nothing much happening right now, so that's fine. We are going to be looking at Soviets. So we're gonna do it like this. And move this. No, move it up. And there you go. There you go. Sorry about that. A little bit of a mishap on the overlay, but we're fine. I fixed it. Okay, so anyways, small engagement here in the center. We see combat engineers penetrating all the way up to this house. Pios are nearby capturing the point and are engaging them from house to house. We also have some conscripts and the combat engineers from Genocidal Canadian retreating. Let's go ahead and hide this. And we have assault grenadiers on the field for Ehrenfeld. Penal battalions also on the field for Binary Helix, and they are both engaging against the Assault Grenadiers. Molotov landing on the Assault Grenadiers, going to force the retreat. Down to 4 men, forcing the retreat, and the center of the map is now in Soviet control. Combat Engineers do end up winning the engagement since they were in the house, getting that additional bonus in defense. More Assault Grenadiers coming out of the field for Ehrenfeld, and he is going to force those Combat Engineers to pop out of the house. However, there are conscripts and penal battalions in the way. However, a nice little flank set up here by himself by Ehrenfeld. Has 2 Assault Grenadier squads right on top of these Soviet troops. Rushing one of them forward, taking a little bit of heavy damage. Second one moving up while the other one draws the fire, and they're now right on top of that penal battalion. One of the Assault Grenadiers, however, is forced to retreat. Molotov landing where they once were, and the Assault Grenadiers over here do manage to force away the conscripts. However, with the 2nd Penal Battalion coming in to support, Binary Helix should easily be able to handle this engagement. And there they go, forcing the retreat. Right-hand side, we see that Frank Black is setting up just heavy weapon teams, machine guns, or MG42s that is, just to cover the approaches. But for the meantime, Binary Helix is managing to prod into the center. He's also managing to get the cutoff here on this left-hand side, going to be cutting off that fuel point for the German players, while a Pio squad sits in the distance, unable to do much. Now, while we take this little lull, we'll see that Doctrines have been selected. Let's take a look at them up here. We have Binary Helix just selecting this Doctrine right now. That is the Mechanized support tactics. Allow them to get all those nice things there. Small engagement here that the Soviet players will easily win. The German players have selected their doctrines, each of them. We have Ehrenfeld going for the Mechanized Assault Doctrine, and we have Frank Black going for the Jaeger Infantry Doctrine. Very nice. That is obviously why we see the Assault Grenadiers for Ehrenfeld. Let's close that out. Left-hand side, we have a bunker getting laid down, or already laid down for Ehrenfeld, so he's going to be locking down this approach. We see that the entire approach here and this one is set up, so a very nice placement there for that bunker. Obviously a vehicle can take it down, but we only have tier 1 so far for Binary Helix and no additional tech for his ally. For the Germans, we have tier 1 going down for Frank Black, and Ehrenfeld did not go for any tech. He is instead going for just Assault Grenadiers, having 3 of them on the field so far. He did lose his Pioneer squad, unfortunately for him, but he should be fine. Right-hand side, or center more likely, we have the penal battalions just spreading all over the place. We also have guard rifles on the field for Binary Helix, wanting to have some type of anti-vehicle solution. Penal battalion in an excellent position. They're set up in heavy cover through that wall, and the Assault Grenadiers are actually in a negated heavy cover, essentially. Nice satchel charge, but the Assault Grenadiers managed to dodge that. Explosion does kill one of their own men, but they managed to get out of there. Conscripts moving up, throwing Molotovs into heavy cover, but the Assault Grenadiers are no longer there. And on the far right-hand side, well, Frank Black is still just not doing much. Leapfrogging his MG42s, covering his Pioneers, just going for the victory points. But the major engagement is just simply here in the center, with both Soviet players engaging against only one German player, which is unfortunate. PTR rest rifles going off on the assault grenadiers, forcing away one squad left on the field, running around, well, chasing that conscript squad. However, with more guard rifles coming in for support. Guard rifles are not the best against infantry, but they will be able to do the job against the assault grenadiers at range, and also they have the ability to get DP light machine guns to increase that anti-infantry power. A nade right here in that spot would be nice. Assault grenades are landing right on top of the guard rifles, doing a little bit of damage to their health, but not a lot as far as kills go. Only one of them actually dying. Assault Grenadier squad barely making it out of there alive with one man. And I think I want to fix this little overlay here. Which one is it? Damn it. Oh, there it is. Reset. There you go. Not exactly the same color, but it looks a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, the Soviet player is doing rather well right now, managing to prod very deep into enemy territory. Far right-hand side, we still see that Frank Black is just pumping out the heavy weapons, the MG42s, trying to lock down territory, but not having the capability of pushing and assaulting into enemy space himself because, well, he only has heavy weapons. Grenadiers are now on the field, however, for Frank Black, so he will be able to, you know, contribute to these engagements, and if he at least sends one of his MG42s in that direction, he would also be able to contribute a little bit more. Oh, wow, that was quite unorthodox, but very impressive. So Frank Black using Fausts against the house actually collapsed the entire house and kill a guard rifle squad inside, I think, or a conscript squad. It looks like it was a conscript squad. But wow, very nice. Guard rifles flanking around this MG bunker, and with their PTR rest rifles doing incredible amounts of damage. That's actually very quick compared to something like a flamethrower. Look at that go down. So that bunker's going to be going down, opening up the entire left-hand approach. Assault Grenadiers move in to engage the guard rifles. The guard rifles decide to retreat without suffering too many losses. Only one loss on each of those squads. Do we have medics back on the field? Yes, we do. So Binary Helix will be able to get those back up. We also have Tier 2 down for Genocidal Canadian, getting himself a Maxim machine gun. And he also selected his Doctrine, so everybody has a Doctrine, and he went for the shock rifle frontline tactics, which will allow them to get heavy tanks later on. Penals trying to... Oh, that was a very nice satchel there by Binary Helix. How many guys did it kill? I'm not exactly sure on the explosion, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a lot of friendly bodies there, so maybe 9 kills? Wow, that was a lot. Assault Grenadier squads do manage to make it out of there, 1 each on each squad, so very lucky there for Ehrenfeld. However, that was impressive amounts of damage, and yeah, that is the power of satchel charges. So, Binary Helix leaves his penal battalion on there and just captures the right. And we still see that Frank Black is not really contributing much. He does have 3 Grenadier squads now on the field and is using them over on the left-hand side to support his friend. I suppose he is content to just simply sit there with this MG42s and control the center point and just battle over for the left-hand side because, well, victory points are currently down to 260 for the Soviet players, while the Germans are still sitting comfortably at 500 points. So, while he hasn't, done much to get into the north, he has allowed them to get that lead. Mines getting laid down by Genocidal Canadian, not bad. Conscripts just moving around the side. Maxim machine gun getting brought into this fight. We have a shock troop up in the north by Genocidal Canadian. Not exactly sure what it's doing up there. Maybe she's waiting for an opportunity to poke a hole. However, there's an MG42 covering the entire approach here, so it would be rather difficult. Obviously, they can move up to the edge, throw a smoke grenade, and then try to close the distance very quickly and throw a nade. But it's a little bit too convoluted for just one squad to be able to potentially poke a hole. So yeah, not much going on here for the Germans. We see the Assault Grenadiers now fully reinforced, pushing back onto the field. They're going to run into that conscript squad that is supported by that Maxim machine gun. They're going to get into range of those that Maxim machine gun right now. There they go. But the Grenadiers are at the same time moving into support. All of them actually funneling into the arc of fire of that Maxim machine gun, which isn't the best thing to do. But there are so many bodies that they can just move around without really taking much damage. One of the squads does get pinned, but we see assault grenades getting tossed. What was that? I'm not exactly sure. Grenadier squads over here on the right-hand side do take quite a bit of damage. They actually managed to skirt right next to that mine, which is kind of lucky of them. Penal Battalion moving into support. The Maxim machine gun did get decrewed. Satchel charge landing right on top of the Penals. The Penals retreat through it, but, well, one of them dies, but Assault Grenadiers retreat right on time, and no damage is done. However, they do force a rout, meaning that the Soviets will hold the territory. Excuse me a second. I should have brought some water, but I didn't. Oh well. Guard rifles moving down to reconnect the point. And we have a small prod into the center. However, the MG42 is already set up. Stops that guard rifle and forces it away. Penal Battalion now at Veteran C2. Remember, at Veteran C2, they also get the URA ability, which is nice. Allows them to move a lot faster through the map. We have an AT gun on the field for genocidal Canadians just set up there to defend. So, Ehrenfeld decides to go for his own Tier 1 to be able to produce an MG42. We also see that Tier 4 is down for Ehrenfeld. However, he does not have enough as far as resources to be able to build. This is Ehrenfeld right here. So he only has 80 fuel, so that means he's not going to be getting any tank anytime soon from that tech. So he decides to build Tier 1 and get an MG42 for himself. I'm not exactly sure I agree with that, although it's fine for him to have Tier 1, but I mean, could have just told his ally, hey, how about you send an MG42 my way? But oh well. Grenadiers, or well, Assault Grenadiers engaging against pretty much everything. Penal Battalions, Guards. Oh, a nice Guard Rifle nade right on top of the entire squad. They try to retreat, clumping up even further, and down goes the entire squad. The other two squads move into support. MG42 finally being brought into a battle. The shock troops getting stopped there, but they do throw a smoke nade right on top of the MG42, blocking its line of sight. Rifle nade landing on the guards, forcing the retreat, and the shock troops decide to retreat since they are taking a lot of damage while crawling around on the floor. Grenadiers pushing forward. The mine has already been detonated on one of the squads, and they do manage to break the lines. Maxim machine gun picked up and forced a retreat. Conscripts out of there as well. Guard rifles trying to hold the line. Penal Battalion behind them for support. They might be able to hold the line at this point, however. AT gun is there. A barrage from the AT gun should be nice. Does actually nail one of them, so very nice. Rifle nade landing on the Penal Battalion, getting 3 kills, but they do end up having to retreat. However, in the meantime, we see Ehrenfeld moving his Assault Grenadiers to the left-hand side, trying to reconnect or recover that point. So, nice attempt, nice push there by the German forces. They did manage to push the lines back. However, the river is still not the dividing line here. The Soviet forces are on the other side of the river. AT gun using its barrage ability on top of the Grenadiers. However, they do manage to dodge that quite easily. No hits actually land on the troops, and they just continue to cap the point. Panzerwerfer on the field for Frank Black. He decides to go for Tier 4 himself. And do we have anything being produced by anybody else? No, not really. Shock troops still up here in the north, just holding the territory. We see a Pio squad sneaking around behind the lines. We see an attempt here to cut off this entire approach. However, they can just simply walk around here. So, I mean, it doesn't actually do much. You would have to cut off this and somewhere around here too, I think. I don't know. Well, anyways, they do manage to push away that Pio squad. But yeah, you can see that they just go through there. So, I mean, nice attempt. I mean, you could have gone like this. You know, cutting from this point, and it might have done something, but I'm pretty sure they can actually walk through here too. Right here. I'm not entirely sure, though. I may be wrong. More artillery barrages there from the AT guns of Genocidal Canadian, trying to stop those Assault Grenadiers from pushing forward. They do manage to cap the point, and don't really take much damage. They are damaged themselves, but they are actually fine. MG42 moves up to the wall, heavy cover, covering the approach here. It's a nice angle, in fact. Also has this MG42 over here covering this approach, so yeah, it's pretty good. Combat engineers not getting stopped by that MG42 since they're out of line of sight. Nice satchel, no, nice grenade actually from these guard rifles right on top of that MG42, forcing it away. And the right-hand side approach has been broken. PTRS rifles could be used here to break this bunker. Satchel charge getting dropped right on top of it. Does about half damage. The guard rifles can finish that up. Grenadiers pushing forwards. The rifles, or SVT rifles from the penal battalions doing quite a bit of damage. MG42 getting forced away. Picked up, and the Grenadiers are trying to just hold the line against these penal battalions, but the penal battalions are too strong. Guard rifles end up destroying the bunker. The guard rifle squad over here ends up retreating, and the shock troops over here could move into support. Panzerwerfer barraging the penal battalion, capturing the point. They managed to, however, dodge most of the rockets, so they're fine. And the Grenadiers are also forced to retreat. So the right flank is collapsing completely for the German players. We see Ehrenfeld moving his MG42, as you should. You shouldn't really leave it all over at every place, although he did get another one, so never mind. He just built another one. And is moving it into support, but, well, the other one does turn around as well, so they will be able to combine fire. And there they go. Barrage landing almost on top of their own shock troops. Guard rifles throwing a nade right on top of that MG42, forcing it to pack up and retreat. Last MG42 holding this line. This entire other approach is completely open, and this fuel cache is completely exposed. Guard rifles getting caught in the open by the MG42. Penal battalions pushing forward straight through the arc of fire of that MG42, doing a lot of damage, and the Panzerwerfer opens up. Right on top of nothing, really. That's where they once were, but they're no longer there. And the penal battalions get themselves right behind that MG42. They stop, turn around, open up on that last man. They should be able to clear out that MG42. Down it goes. Guard rifles taking position in the house. They are opening up on that fuel cache. And we now have a Panther on the field for Ehrenfeld. That Panther is now going to take a satchel to the face. It's not even going to move. Boom! That's about 25% damage. Not a lot, but still, you know, damage. So Panther needs to be a little bit careful. SVT rifles shooting at the Grenadiers surrounding this house. Panther moves in. The guard rifles jump out of the house and retreat. And there we go. So the forces for the Soviets have been routed from the right-hand side. So that'll let the Germans recover their territory. Shock troops just still sitting there in the middle of nowhere, not doing much. Conscripts flanking the bridge. Do we have a bunker? Yes, we have another bunker rebuilt over here. AT gun can move, and, well, never mind, there's an Su-85, so the Su-85 can handle the situation by itself. But you can always just use your AT gun to clear them out, just attack ground where you know the bunker is, and it'll hit it. At maximum range, it'll still hit it, so. Mortar on the field for Ehrenfeld. He has Frank Black supporting with one of his MG42, so that's nice. So, yeah, no AT gun here, so that bunker's gonna fall very quickly. Su-85 actually nails one of the men on that mortar team, so very nice. Oh, hits the mortar directly, kills another man, and now turns its sights on that bunker. Combat engineers crawling around, getting suppressed by that MG42, and the Panther still damaged, just sitting around over here, covering the approaching or advancing infantry for Frank Black as he covers. Now, what is this, Panzerwerfer? No, that was an artillery barrage from Ehrenfeld, a light artillery barrage. Nailed a little bit that conscript squad, forcing the retreat. Su-85 took a little bit of damage, but it's fine. And the bunker is about to go down. Does have its sights, focus sights, so it means it can actually look at it. And there we go, down goes the bunker. We do have 2 Panthers on the field. 3, in fact. We have a, actually that's Panzerwerfer, never mind. So we have 2 Panthers on the field for the German players. They do need a little bit of a coordination here to be able to deal with these Su-85s. There's 2 of them on the field right now. They're actually separated, but the Panthers are not currently thinking of pushing. We see on the right-hand side, binary helix poking into enemy lines. penal battalions and guards. One of the penal battalions did end up having to retreat. Oh, a nice satchel right on top of the house. Collapses the entire house, killing whatever was inside. Might have been a heavy weapon. We don't actually know. One of the squads, Grenadier squads, ended up retreating at one man, barely making it out of there. And the other two squads are also forced to retreat as they almost get annihilated. Panthers getting engaged by the Su-85s, taking a lot of damage. Even an Su-76 brought into the mix. This Panther just got yeah, that Panther's toast. Second Panther, now down to about 30% health, backs off. Gonna get some repairs by the pilots right on the field. Another light artillery barrage right on top of the Su-85 doing some damage, but they're still fine. And we see another artillery barrage over here on this side. So both players actually utilizing their artilleries. But it only clears out an AT gun and actually destroys it, so that's quite nice. MG42 getting shot at by that Su-85. Su-85 not able to do much, and we see the shock troops and conscripts pushing forward. Shock troops managing to break the lines against the assault grenadiers, and they're going to recapture that point. Victory points, 207 for the Allies, or well, Soviets, 379 for the Germans. Two Panthers still on the field. Third one, no, that's a Panzerwerfer, never mind. One of them is very damaged, needs some heals, and Rzhev does have that other one. Su-85s, and whoa, we now have an ISU on the field for binary helix. That is going to be quite impressive. Two ISUs, in fact. Ooh, that is actually going to rip through those. KV-8 also coming onto the field for genocidal Canadian. Did build himself, obviously, tier 4 to get those Su-85s. And no additional tech for binary helix. He is instead just going to be happy to get himself ISUs, which, well, who wouldn't, right? They have incredible range. I do wish there was a way to actually see the range, like to give you a radius, showing you where it could actually shoot, but no. Panther moving over to the left-hand side, running into the shock troops and maximum machine guns. None of them actually being able to do much against it. You like that Su-76 in the mix there. Very nice. And the KV-8 moves down to the left-hand side, so a very big mass here of Soviet armor. The ISUs are apparently crossing the river. A little bit risky since they're not very maneuverable and they're going to take a long time to cross the river. They could very easily sit at the edge of the river and bombard from there like this one. But, well, binary helix is going a little bit bold, a little bit forward, so we'll see what he can do. He is crushing, however, all the hedges that were around here, so no longer is the line of sight going to be blocked here. So these ISUs actually have a very clear open field. Panthers now moving over to the left-hand side for Ehrenfeld. And we see the shock troops over here getting run over by the Panther a little bit. Getting shot at by both sides. They need to get themselves out of there. Down to 3 men. Risking it a little bit too much. Not moving. Su-85s opening up on the Panthers. And we see, oh, a nice shot there from that ISU. Let's take a look from this angle and see how well it shoots in the distance. ISU continues to turn around, and nope, no longer has a line of sight. It's now actually going to turn over to this side of the map. And just continue to cover that approach. The Su-85s by themselves can handle these Panthers. One of the Panthers may go down. One Su-85 does get eliminated. The second Su-85 is still at full strength. Panther over here manages to hide itself, but the ISU turns around and shoots. Boom! And that Panther nails it, or actually I think it might have missed. Panther now trying to back off. The ISU continues to look at it, and it now turns its sights against this other Panther. No, it actually bounced off the frontal armor. It does have incredible range, but doesn't have amazing penetration. And oh, what the hell was that? Mortar? Panther over here trying to cross the river. It is at a very decent amount of health. Those ISUs are shooting over on that right-hand side. Look at that. That's actually hitting that Panther over there. Let's take a look at that Panther as it moves. It's got a marked vehicle going down on it, I think. PTRS rifles doing incredible amounts of damage. And yeah, trees. Too many trees. Barely makes it out of there. Very lucky there. So the Panthers not actually wanting to die. This Panther barely makes it out of there. This one also barely makes it out of there as well. KV-8 on the field around here, just being able to do a lot. The marked vehicle still going on that Panther, but, well, it's back at base, so it should be fine. Panzer Warfare just sitting in the center of everything. A little bit too risky to have it in there and not support it. May want to back it off. TTRS rifle's going to start opening up on that Panzer Warfare. Panzer Warfare going to back off. TTRS rifles fly. And the ISU is not able to actually land a shot on it. Makes it out of there. Very low in health, but breaks it out. And we now see a precision bombing strike right on top of all this infantry. But they retreat right in time, and the bombing strike will probably just collapse that house. Yeah, there it goes. So the left-hand side, we see genocidal Canadian just capturing territory with his infantry. He is only left with one Su-76 over here. The Su-85s looks like they actually died, getting himself another one to replace his losses, but those Panthers did end up doing quite a bit of damage. He still has that KV-8, however, allowing him to pretty much control all territory. And the Soviets actually have triple cap going out against the German players. So it's 207 for the Soviets, 246 for the Germans still. However, they are triple capped, so that lead is going to be closed very quickly. Pack guns now on the field for Ehrenfeld. He decided to go for tier 2 instead, since his Panthers are not able to deal with that amount of anti-tank. And those ISUs have gone very bold, very forward. Both pack guns actually getting cleared out. ISUs shooting at these Panthers. Panther getting marked. But the ISUs are getting flanked. They need a little bit of help here. There's nothing in the zone to help them. This ISU needs to... That ISU is in a lot of trouble. These guard rifles need to button, but they don't actually have the DP light machine gun, which is unfortunate. And that Panther is going to try to get himself out of there. Oh, nasty side shot there from that other ISU. Second ISU shoots, destroys the pack gun, but this guy makes it out of there with its speedy turbo engine. And there it goes. So yeah, that is one thing that, you know, a little bit of this here. Getting those DP light machine guns is actually rather good to do, because, yeah, you can always button, but, well, I guess we'll learn. Now, Maxim machine gun over here on the left-hand side does actually manage to stop an advance here from Frank Black with all his infantry. Incendiary barrage right on top of all this infantry actually incinerates one of the Grenadiers as they were retreating. The other two squads make it out of there, and the U-42 packs up as well. ISU need a little bit of repair, need a little bit of loving. Combat engineers moving in to support, and the ISU are now just essentially setting up for a siege on the German players' bases. We have penal battalions moving up, getting shot at by bunkers, but the ISUs are able to just shoot at those bunkers without really much of a problem. Penal battalions also crawling out of the arc of fire. Oh, nasty shot there by those ISUs, clearing out one Panzer Grenadier squad almost entirely. More shots landing around the place. Panther for Frank Black moving in, trying to get on top of those ISUs, but now both ISUs are actually facing it, and they actually have a decent amount of frontal armor. So a frontal assault is not, you know, the best case or best course of action. They actually need to get flanked. This Panther having the right idea, managing to get a flank on both ISUs. There is penal battalion there for support, but that is about it. This ISU needs to turn itself around in this direction, but it is focusing on this Panther over here. Does manage to focus on this other one. Takes a shot. No. Ooh, a nasty Panzer Warfare barrage there right on top of these ISUs. One ISU goes down and actually gets left on the world there for the German players to pick up. This might be... yeah, this is actually going to be very bad for the Soviet players. This ISU is retreating, getting chased down by that Panther. The Panther will be able to clear it out. Su-76 moves in to try to intercept, trying to play interference and stop this Panther from killing his ISU friend. But that Su-76 will go down as well because it's going to have a lot of trouble crossing the river. ISU over here. Pack gun getting picked up by the shock troops. Can they just actually finish this one, or they're actually shooting at the Panther? The Su-76 shooting at the Panther, managing to stay a little bit alive. ISU now picked up by Frank Black, takes a shot out at the Su-76. Panther does end up going down, and the Su-76 makes it across the river, stays alive. And on the far right-hand side, we do have an Su-85 there for support, covering the area, but this Oh, very nice move there by Binary Helix. Calls in a precision bombing strike and annihilates the stolen ISU, allowing him to at least not have to worry about that. Does call himself another ISU onto the field, so he will be able to hold the territory across the river. But yeah, that was a little bit too bold having those ISUs, you know, too far forward. Too far forward and unsupported. If they had the guards with DP light machine guns and the ability to button, that would be different. KV-8 getting assaulted there by this Panther, the SU-85, I mean, able to do a lot of damage. It does have an AT gun there for support, and a marked vehicle coming right on top of that Panther. That Panther is gone. SU-85 is taking a lot of damage, however, so it might fall as well. Doing very poorly to get across the river, and that AT gun not able to do much damage. SU-85 manages to shoot one last time before it dies, doing sufficient damage so that the AT gun can finish off that Panther, but, well, it did cost the SU-85 its life. Guard rifles there for support, managed to force away that Panzer Grenadier squad. If they are going to survive, and another Panther moves in to engage the guard rifles. KV-8 and shock troops are in the area as well, and victory points are now down to 33 for the German players. They actually need to go for this point at the very least and capture it to slow the ticking, but I don't see anything moving in that direction. This actually might be it. Panther engaging that KV-8. The KV-8 not able to do much against it. Finally switches over to its main cannon, but the main cannon doesn't really penetrate this armor. PTRS rifles, however, are doing quite a bit of damage to this Panther, just shooting it on the rear armor, getting those penetrations. Look at that damage go down. Those are 4 PTRS rifles shooting at once. Well, not at once, but, you know, in tandem. And yeah, that Panther is actually going to go down to PTRS rifles. I don't think up to this point seen a Panther die to guard rifles. There you go. So Panther goes down, and the German players have nothing left on the field. Everything else is back here. Did somebody leave? No? They're still there. So I think they've given up at this point. Down to 7 points, and they're not even sending their infantry to try to do that. Down to 5. And yeah, that's going to be it. That is going to be all she wrote. Down to 3. One more tick, and we're done. And there you go. So, yeah, very nice. A little bit unfortunate play there at the end with those ISUs. They ended up dying, you know, because they were left unsupported, but they still managed to snag the victory, so well played. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.